nobody like this. You ain't seen nobody like this. You hear my sound all over town singing. Whoa. You ain't seen nobody like this. You ain't seen nobody like this. You hear my sound all over town singing. Whoa. I think there's something in the water. If you wanna take a sip, but be careful what you wish for. The faint of heart can't handle it. Everybody wants a piece of someone else's prize, but it ain't free, it don't come cheap. Only the strongest will survive. You ain't seen nobody like this.
Good morning and welcome to San Antonio Soccer Roundtable, the morning edition. We got a new guest, our guest host, co-host. We'll see how this goes. Robert, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing?
Doing well. And then we got a sneak
We got an extra, yeah.
there with Royce.
See that much closer.
Apologies. Yeah,
You're
no, we
fine.
got a second guest. Bubba, go over there, son. Go, go, bud. Good Lord, what a mess. It's not that early, but it's still early. So, yep, we're doing a bunch of cleaning around here. I gotta go fix a toilet after this, and it's a Sunday. It's a Sunday in the life of a dad and a homeowner. So, living the dream, boys. Living the dream.
Then there's Rafa in the bottom corner here. How are you? Where are you off to this week?
I think Judas preached tomorrow.
Nice.
Go see them.
All right.
50th anniversary show.
The
I've seen,
exact opposite of a.
I've seen Judas Priest live. I saw them at Ozfest when they had their first reunion with Rob Halford. I think that was 2005 or 6.
That was
maybe
pre-kids,
7.
is what you're
That
saying?
was awesome. Yeah, very much so. That was College Royce. Had a great time that concert. That was awesome. Yeah,
And then
they put
today's
on a
the
good show.
Classico too, so we'll see how that goes. How that goes for the game.
So, last night was a interesting night to say the least. San Antonio FC did come away with a 2-1 win. Not the prettiest of wins again, but at this stage, I don't care how they come because, at the end of the season, the 3 points equal 3 points. Don't matter how they look to getting there. So, to me, I guess the first things to kind of get started out is who wasn't there at this point here. Injuries came out. Patino, which, there were some rumors floating around that possibly he would be back. But still held out again. Beckford, Deshane Beckford had a lower body energy, and Mane was out, and he's the big one that had an update. He's out at least 12 weeks due to a successful shoulder surgery, which at the end of the 12 weeks, he'll be reevaluated at that point here. So we'll start with you, Royce. Your thoughts on the injury front?
Yeah, Bubba, you gotta go. You gotta stay over
He's
there,
fine.
son. Yeah, it's a bummer. This is kind of similar. We at least have a timetable. I'm trying to build off similarities from Patino last season. Whenever they announced he had a stress fracture, and we'll figure out when he's ready, and that's what I told y'all is that it's very similar to Maloney's muscle injury, where it could be great in 2 days, it could be great in 2 years. You never know; those are fickle. And with Patino with the stress fracture, kind of the same thing. It's bone, but it's not like you clean break it and it builds it back. A stress fracture can take a while to heal, and we saw that last season. Who knows what happened with Mane? 12 weeks for a shoulder. That's typically labrum. That's typically labrum, or which the labrum kind of connects the shoulder to each other. Whenever you get a quick, I can explain a lot about that. It's not fun. It hurts a lot.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a collar. I don't think it's a collarbone because collarbones typically take a bit quicker to heal unless it's displaced, and then they have to put hardware on it. But yeah, it stinks. He's out 3 months. That's
At
a big
least.
chunk of the season. Yeah, that he'll probably be out half the season. Um, I'll try to be the ever optimist on this. It means he'll be ready to go and he'll be fresh for the second half, which can be very, very good. And with his speed and with his skills, man, that could be that he could be a killer in the second half of the season for us. So you can have Deshane, and hopefully Deshane's all right. And you have Patino up top. And Deshane has speed for days. He just doesn't have the experience that Mane has. But man, it stinks. There's no other ifs, ands, buts about it. It stinks. I think instead of signing 2 USL players, they sign Mane, and for him to be out that long, that hurts. And we're gonna have to look for some depth for sure. We need to make a signing or two, which we may tease later on that some interesting developments are occurring, not for forwards but for the back line. So, Rafa, your thoughts on this? Once again, the injury bug, even though we went light on preseason, the injury bug hitting us again in the beginning of the season for us.
It was like with Dylan last year. It took him a while to get back, but someone else ended up stepping up. And what I think the problem is, especially yesterday, and Harry talked on this while we're doing our little watch party. We need depth, and then we need depth up front, and
We need depth all over, to be honest.
yeah. So that, and then we're kind of lucky that we were able to get that win up, because I think if we played one of the topper elite teams, we probably would have been ran out of the stadium, because we just sort of ran out of gas. I think they do need to look for another forward. Hopefully someone, I don't know, it's going to come from the MLS because of MLS next. We may have to go down to South America again, maybe find another Nathan or Pirano. He could be there. I don't know if there's anyone in the academy systems ready to step up. And I don't think we have that player. So they're gonna have to find someone quick. As far as Beckford, I know he looked a little limp in the last game, and when he got subbed out, I think he took a shot, on the foot. So hopefully he'll be back. I think they're probably being precautious with him. Hopefully with Patino, the same thing. Hopefully he's ready for the next one, because it's a rivalry game. We need to go down there and kick RGV's butt and steal 3 points from them. So just before the big match with Phoenix. So hopefully we can get that added depth. We'll see what Marcina's going to do with the front office about getting someone else in. And then also, if you kind of look at even our kind of center mids, we're kind of looking a little winded. So I think we need to add some backup for Mo and for especially PC. PC's been getting banged up. I feel I'm sure he's taking plenty of those ice baths.
He has been getting assaulted. Good Lord, man.
Yeah,
again, another game where people just went at him, and he got knocked down so many times. And we'll talk about the ref later on. No call.
Oh no.
I will die on this hill. Carter Manley does not get a yellow card in this if the ref knows what he's doing. Who was it that took the ball up? It may have been PC. I think it was Shannon, though. Shannon took it on the right side, and a Galaxy player from behind just knocks him over, just pushes him, and he goes flying, grabs the ball and takes it back up, and gets a yellow card. And that's when Carter Manley got his yellow card. That's a foul. He just shoves him from behind, doesn't even challenge the ball, and the ref's like, "Yeah, that's fine." And then pretty much a similar thing happens. Manley comes and knocks him with his elbow, goes shoulder to shoulder, knocks him on the elbow, gives him a yellow. It's like, what? No.
And he won that ball clean, too. He got his body in position for
that ref had no, he does not.
Well, we'll get to that.
But we'll get there. But we're talking about the team now. There's a bit of an injury crisis right now. But the players that we were hoping would show up have absolutely shown up, and that's the back line. The wingers have looked great. Bonilla has looked amazing. We were kind of unsure with the preseason, but he has looked like the best keeper in the league.
Did you see that save? Oh my God.
Yeah, the double
When he
save.
kicked it for the rebound.
No, Robert, you know what? You talk
That was
about that.
legit.
You have college
Oh,
keeper experience. Fire away on that,
Oh,
man.
absolutely. Yeah, that reflex, just to have that instinct to throw that foot back there like that was just like amazing. Because you even saw it in that guy's face in the replay. He was just like his eyes got big. It was like a gift right there. And then he threw that leg out. Oh gosh, that stuff is just straight instincts and reflexes. Like you said, he has the full package though. When you watch him though, he's like tall, he's athletic, and he's starting to show command of the back line. You can hear him getting more and more vocal. Well, considering there was no crowd, you could hear everything. But
The one
you
big
can hear everything.
I think the
But
one
I
agree with this. The one big improvement for Bonilla is his hands, and that was our biggest concern with his hands, because we saw some videos from his previous teams. He didn't have good hands, and you got to tip your hat to La Madrid. He's really worked with him, and I think Bonilla could literally be the best, like I said, best keeper in the USL. I mean, just look what he's been able to do these last few months working with La Madrid, and La Madrid has that pedigree making ordinary keepers into superstars, and he's done it the last few years. And then
I mean, let's not.
I'm not trying to crown.
Let's not.
But you can see
let's not give disservice to Bonilla. He's a Colombian national team keeper. Let's not say that, but at the same time, he's. Whether he really has improved, whether he was kind of left alone by himself on the goals in the preseason, he has looked like a world-class keeper for sure.
So let's get into the game here and starting lineups here. Let's see here if I can click this right here. So San Antonio FC came out with Dylan up top, Collier making his initial start, David Larrera making his initial start for San Antonio FC. And then everybody else was pretty much the same. Maloney, PC, Abu, Gomez, Gomez, right? Yeah, Shannon Gomez. Tainer, Garcia, Manley, and Bonilla. We'll start with you, Robert. Your thoughts when you saw the lineup come out?
It was what you expected. I mean, considering the limited options up front, like I said, the back line is solid. It was kind of like what we were thinking. And they played tough, considering we need some additional players like that. They played well. I mean, considering on the road, that's a tough one. You never can in the USL. Winning on the road is the hardest thing. So I was pretty pleased with how they came out.
Rafa, any thoughts on the lineup?
It's like what Robert said. Is the only change was going to be for Beckford and for up front, and then see Collier up front too. Switching with him, and then Laurel. I think Laurel needed to be in the starting lineup. I think he needs to stay there. He just commands a lot with the ball, and reminds me of a couple players we used to have, and he brings a lot of attention, and I think that's going to end up helping. Did help a little bit with Dylan and also Collier not get double team and so forth. So hopefully he'll stay on the remaining starting 11 the rest of the way. But as far as the rest, like I said, it's what we started last week. Solid defending, solid midfield. It's just a question of how is this front three gonna react and be able to produce.
Fear the Skullet. That's the new Lorea.
Any thoughts on the lineup there, Royce?
It's David Lob Era. Come on, let's get it right.
Lob Era.
Yeah, it really there you go, Carlos. Hold on. There are big moments happening right now. I'm watching the race. I'm sorry. I'm super distracted. As far as the lineup goes, it's pretty much what we had to have it. Just because of injury, because of just players that weren't available. Obviously our forwards are pretty light, unfortunately, right now. But I thought it was exciting. We would see a similar thing to what I think was going to be what's going to be the normal thing with like 2 strikers up top with Collier and Patino most likely, and then like a 10 in the back. Hold on.
Yeah, that's what we saw with that up top. Lareo's going to be kind of free, trying to get the ball to those guys and that. So, and that made a difference because when we started the attacks up front.
Yeah, he brought the juice. Like seriously, he commanded attention. So where like it would leave those other guys a little bit more wide open.
Your finishing thoughts there, Royce?
Sorry, yeah, apologies.
Oh, you're fine.
My kid saw we're doing a soccer podcast, so he wants to play FIFA. He has no idea how to play FIFA on his iPad, so he's asking me for help. And I'm like, buddy, if you can't play it. Let's see. Where was I going? Anyway, I was hoping we'd see what we were supposed to see. How I think Martina is really trying to set up, and I should have sent you a lineup, but it's fine. But 3 in the back, the usual 3 in the back. Basically 4 in the middle, PC, Abu, and then the wingers on the outside, and then a 10 in front of them, and then 2 forwards up top. And I think that's how they're trying to set up. And that would be either David Loera or Beckford as the 10 in front of the midfield, and then the 2 strikers would either be Patino, Dillon, or Collier. That's why you have 3 strikers. And so this kind of set up exactly how you wanted it to set up. And I think Loera really showed exactly what you can do in that position. He really helped out he came back and helped out the midfield a lot in that first match. And there are different tactical goals for against the different teams that they're playing. But Beckford really made a lot of runs forward, and he made a lot of dangerous runs forward with the ball, and he looked great. Loera played a very different position, and he stayed back. And he really helped out the midfield a lot. And we saw that in one of the preseason matches. I think it was against FC Dallas, where we gave up the 5 goals and we switched positions at halftime. Loera came on and he was more in the midfield. And that's something that the Third Degree told us, Buzz from the Third Degree told us when he watched the preseason match was, well, it looks like instead of 3 forwards, you guys have 3 in the midfield now and 2 forwards. And that's what that told me. Oh, they probably put Loera back as a 10 and he's helping out the midfield. And that's exactly what he did in this match. And he really stabilized the midfield a lot. And he looked great doing it. In the formation, we dominated that midfield. Where we did not dominate was the wings, because our wingers kept getting too far forward and left a lot of space in between. And that's when Manley and Taintor really had to go out, which, speaking of, congratulations to Mitch Taintor on your 150th USL match. That's a career. That's a career.
Yeah,
that's amazing. And for him to still play at the high level he's playing at and to be man of the match, dude, legend.
Nice. Yeah, for sure.
So that's really what what the formation showed. That's really how we played, and it was pretty stable. The only times we lost it, like I said, were when we lost it on the wings, and that's just because the wingers just kept getting forward to try to help out in the attack, and there wasn't a lot of cover for them. But that also meant that Abu and PC were really trying to cover a lot of ground in the midfield, and they looked winded by the end of this match.
Yeah.
Speaking of PC, the big news all week was the kits, the black on black kits, and lo and behold, we have silver now.
To be fair,
Go
I think
figure, go figure.
I think the big news of the week is that SAFC has had a perfect start. We are 6 points out of 6 points, 2-0. A lot of teams can't say that, including Phoenix.
Yes, Phoenix.
Spoiler alert.
Phoenix did not do well, but to me, like I said here, I'm happy that they listened to the fans and to the media, and I'm assuming probably a little bit USL Championship. Uncle Jake came down and said, "Hey, you need to make some adjustments again." Just quick thoughts. Anything different you would have done outside of what they did?
I would have said, "We're ballers. We're gonna have black names, black numbers. Suck it."
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
sorry.
And
of course, the photo is via the San Antonio FC communications team, and thank you, Kevin and guys. So moving to the game here. Let's see, get the YouTube lined up here. Had a good picture of Coach Marcina to start out with.
Nice little
Looking
sweater.
like Ted Lasso. Yeah, he's looking like Ted Lasso.
Game kicks off, an announced crowd of
I have to say, with those Puma shoes and what Marcina was wearing, the first time I saw him, I was like, dude, okay, Puma, all right, this is I liked the coaching outfit. I thought Marcina looked sharp as hell. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
And I will say, LA had an announced crowd of 500, and the only reason why they had an announced crowd of 500 is because they did it after the MLS Galaxy game. For that here, if not, I don't know if people know this, you cannot get tickets to the game. So the only way you would have been able to see this game would have been if you went to the Galaxy game first, because Los Dos is not selling tickets this year for their fans. So
Was a
Why are they
500?
doing that? Is that to like save on concessions or something, or an employee cost, or like it just seems odd?
I don't understand it myself personally. Well, first, I don't understand how the league allows it. Number one, because this is a Division II league along those lines. If LA, in my opinion, LA should have went to MLS Next Pro if this is how they were going to treat it. That's
Sure.
but I have a feeling that Uncle Jake said, hey, can we keep 4 teams just to keep numbers inflated for USL, to be, because if not, that'd have been at 23 teams as opposed to 27 teams.
Mm-hmm.
So, which then you'd almost have to do, you could have done what EFL Championship bracket or table, where it's just one table with the 23 teams. If not, you'd be doing 12 and 13. So I don't know, but here is the start of the play at about 9 minutes and 15 seconds.
See out to the right side. Here comes Gomez. He'll take it into space. Dunbar defending the cross. I should say Vaughn defending. And the opportunity.
David Labera, baby. What a bit of skill. What a bit of skill.
Just bringing back the goosebumps. That's just amazing.
Well, that was lightning quick on the
That
counter
was
attack.
sick.
That is some goal for David Loera.
And he obviously deserves that number 10 jersey.
Right off the
Ah,
chest.
what a bit of skill.
Right
What
there
a bit
with
of skill.
right foot on the
And I will
outside
say
of the-
that Los Dos keeper really showed his inexperience a lot in this match, and he found himself in no man's land a lot. He was just kind of running around, kind of ball chasing,
He
and
didn't have
not
much
set at all. Yeah.
Yeah, he looked real confident out there.
Any thoughts on the goal outside of just the class?
That was a good pass that set it up. Just to get it.
It was Gomez, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good.
Gomez assist from which a big thing that SAFC really wanted this season were wingers that could cross, and we have 2 wingers that can cross. Except I do know I do know the boys on Puro SAFC. They were saying that you always know when Maloney's going to cross, and yeah, he kind of let you know he's going to cross it. But at the same time, that's not bad if your forwards can beat the defenders. But yeah, for sure. But no, that cross from Gomez was, yeah, I'm all aboard the David Loera and Shannon Gomez hype trains for sure. That was wonderful.
And of course, that was David's first goal and Gomez's first assist, since joining the team for that here. So, Rafa, you and I kind of talked about this here, and then we'll start with you, and then Royce and Robert can kind of comment on the Los Dos goal here coming up.
Forward, Harvey amongst the targets, and Jalen Neal in there along with Judd, the chief targets. And for Danny Aguirre on that far side. Here is Aguirre playing into the area. The shot on goal, they
Defensive
score.
mistake there.
Area, the shot on goal, they score.
We left him so by himself there. Look at it. You can see
he's all alone right here.
And no one took notice the backside. And I think you can't blame Manley for that because he is covering the post. So that's where he's supposed to be at. But
so would it have been Dylan or
one of them,
Collier?
Yeah, Collier, Dylan should have not followed the. You see, you have 4 guys on. Well, really 5.
There's a man.
Like, but even Manley's pulling off the post. It's like he noticed.
Yeah. So someone should have stayed back, because because we had the numbers that covered the front, and basically this was a set play by LA Galaxies to clear out, for that shot, and we fell for that one. And like I said, you can put the blame either Collier or Dylan not staying put with their shooter there.
Or would Garcia be too deep if you get these two up? It almost seems like they're playing man, though, right? With the exception of these three.
And then that's the thing. No one communicated to stick to or to look around. They were basically looking at the ball instead of looking at the man. And that's the error right there. Had they stayed with their player, one of them would have stayed there, and that shot would never happen.
Royce, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious how SAFC sets up for these corners. They always have somebody on the near post. They always have the three center backs directly in front of the keeper, and then everybody else kind of plays man to man. So it's kind of a zone man to man hybrid. And in this case, they kind of bit him in the butt. Now, the big thing that happened is that where 27 kind of loses it and what needs to happen on this play. So it's up to Garcia to kind of look and to figure out where who's loose. At the same time, Mo's at the top of the box is fine. Loera's there for the looking for the short corner, but somebody's got to pick him up. And what happened, if you look, I think it's 31 for Los Dos. This is what I saw.
Right here.
We're watching. He's holding the guy that's trying to go back to. So there's holding in the box that the ref completely ignores. He's trying to get back to cover that guy because he sees it. Yeah, correct. Because which that's why this play happens is because whoever 31 is holding sees what's happening. He's trying to get back, and he's basically tackled for no call. Manley tries to get out, and you'll see, and typically this is what happens is the guy that's closest to the goal happening, that's typically not his fault, and it's not Manley's fault. Manley's covering, and he almost gets out to the guy in time. The problem is that 31 completely holds the player that's actually going to try to make a play on the ball, and the ref, it happens right in the front of the ref, and the ref just, it might be Collier that he holds up, but that's pretty much what happened there was it was a pick play. It was a pick play that should have been called for a foul. And
it was well run by Los Dos.
No, it was
and the goal.
That half volley. That half volley is class. And to be honest, Bonilla almost even gets a hand on it, which is insane. But that's the big thing is it was a pick play. It was well done, but it wasn't a legal pick play. But hey, if you get away with it, then it doesn't matter. It's only stealing if you get caught, So that's what happened there, and it was a great finish. But yeah, we'll talk about this ref having a very tough game, and I'm going to write his name down because I hope we never have to suffer through this crap again.
Red card. Adrian Gonzalez issued a red card here with the second yellow.
Well, they don't show it.
Which the reason that was a yellow was because the ball's gone and he still tries to kick to win the ball even though the ball's on the other foot. So he kicks the SAFC player and nowhere near the ball, and that's why he gets the second yellow. Like if you're on a yellow, you can't do that, and he did that. So there you go. He put the decision in the ref's hands. He's seen that the ref has made some bad decisions. That's on the play.
Yeah.
And that was right after Tainer got his.
So come on ahead. Dylan working on Doyle here. Here's the cross into the area. Good job by Vaughn able to clear it out, but Dylan will keep it alive. Now Maloney.
There it is.
Yeah.
Lorera and a foul against Carlos Harvey.
Yeah, like I said, the ball's gone, and the dude kicks Maloney to try to win the ball, even though the ball's gone. And so it's a clear second yellow. Clear second yellow.
Maloney does well with that clip for first touch.
There it is, right there.
Harvey
Yeah, from the back.
And that is in the foul that was just called, but earlier down.
So, LA went down a man, which was good. And then Jonathan said,
Yeah,
sent
and
out
then
a tweet
yeah,
saying, hey,
and then
we'll-
on the ensuing kickoff, yeah.
Good free kick opportunity here for San Antonio. Abu plays it into the backside of the 6. The header to goal.
So I'm going to start with you on this one here, Rafa, because when we were talking in the chat here, you thought this was a perfect play.
Yeah, I mean, look at the clear out on this and the left-hander. All what he does on set pieces on the air, especially in the air. Nora marked him up, got the back. He got plenty of space on the backside, and just buried that header. I mean, you can't get better than that. So it's a great play. And yeah, you got to give Abu.
He can serve him up, man.
He serves. And that's the one thing with Muhammad. He really knows how to serve those balls within the 6 that give us an opportunity to get those headers in. And like I said, it's just a beautiful pass, a beautiful goal. Tanner with the Ronaldo celebration with a little Sue.
And just like that, they take the 2-1 lead.
There you go. Bam.
That announcer's so fired up considering no one's there. He's just so fired up. You heard it? The announcer's crazy.
Just look at the height he gets. I mean, that's a tough angle shot to score on.
All right, so
let me get my comment on the Taintor goal real quick before we go to this madness that I don't understand. So the Taintor goal is great. It was not a mirror image, but it was a replica. It was the exact same thing as the goal against San Diego last season, where Abu serves it up to was it Patino? No, it was Nathan. Nathan finished it in the corner. It was basically the exact same thing. You love to see it, and if we can continue that Abu to Taintor combination on set pieces, we're sitting pretty, my friends. Let's keep that going. That was a wonderful connection for sure. And the thing is, nobody marked Taintor. He was all by himself. He was so alone that he didn't even have to jump. He just ran in and headed it in. So bad marking by Los Dos, but a wonderful service by Abu and a wonderful header by Taintor. 2-1. Good guys.
And Stelpa man until now. So,
by the way, if you look at the clock, 2 minutes later, yeah.
Judd is dumped, and here Judd is dumped.
I don't understand this. I don't get it. There is no contact with the ref. That was the initial thing. I know Czech said that. Oh, it looks like he ran into the ref. It wasn't.
No, he got the car.
How was that a straight red?
Yeah,
that is not
a makeup.
What
it had to be a makeup call. Like the ref is thinking,
that's not even a yellow. That might be a foul.
I mean,
I think
it's a foul. I don't even think that's a foul. I think that's both of you get up, you flopped, you may have contacted him. That's not even a yellow. It's not even a foul. If it's a foul, it's a penalty. I don't even think it's a penalty.
Actually, it was not a penalty because the ball hasn't been in play.
Yeah, the ball wasn't kicked. Like if you go when the start of the contact,
yeah,
he has not kicked the ball.
Yeah. So that's a talking to. That's not.
See,
how was that a red?
The fouls are. He's already in the process.
Yeah,
of calling
and
the
ball
foul,
hasn't
been kicked. So
yeah.
that's why it was a corner kick. I think the reason why it was a red is Judge is who who Collier hugged down. I wouldn't say tackled because I don't think it was, but I think just that flip where they were going one direction and then you could see where he. How Judge sold it as he sold it that he actually pulled him hard and that caused them both to go down. Now I think on the other
that's not a red. Red is a dangerous play that puts an opposing player in physical harm. There's nothing harmful about that.
If it was a malicious play, then it's a red. But that's
not even a yellow. It's not even a yellow. It's not even a foul. It's all right. You two that's enough. It's embarrassing. That's embarrassing, and that's got to be rescinded. That's got to be
It's
another
not
red
going to be
card.
rescinded though.
That's got to be rescinded. That's not a red card. It's not even a yellow card. It's baffling.
I don't disagree with you, but
it just seemed like a makeup call. Like they just had
it's
the ref
poor
felt the need
refereeing.
to even it up. Yeah, like
it's
he just
embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's poor refereeing. That's all it is. It's poor officiating. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's poor officiating. It's appalling. That's got to get reviewed by whatever board pro sports have, if they have, or pro officials, if they have a board to review. Embarrassing. Last season we had a red card rescinded, and I kind of get where the ref was going, but at the same time, if he would have taken 2 seconds to think about the physics of a ball going straight up or Kamiri kicking someone, then yeah, if you take 2 seconds to think about the physics, yeah, okay, Kamiri got to the ball.
This is a better replay on this side here.
I think Tulsa had one rescinded too last week. They had one taken back. The suspension.
Let's see what happened. No, that's not even a yellow. It's not even a wrestle.
I think there's a red right there. You see how he put his hand on the ref?
He didn't. Look at the other replay. He never.
He might have said something to the ref, and that's why he pulled the red. You see, that's like I said. Like you said, that's not a red card there. But when he goes up right here, you see that little move, that little. I think the referee was just really wanting to control this game, and then he was going to decide the outcome. And he kind of stepped up.
He had to have said something.
Yeah, and I think honestly, if he was going to card him, it was going to be a yellow. But because of this, he gave him a straight red. And Collar kind of just fell for this. I think he should have just backed off and let him decide. And right there, that little whatever he said to him there just caused him to get the red card.
If whenever they have the free media time, I'm considering joining the virtual meeting virtual media time, taking my lunch break then, because I want to ask what happened. Because I from everything that I've seen, obviously we don't hear the words that are said, but everything I've seen, that's not even yellow.
Red.
Shambhala card.
But I don't think it was a red personally, but there's let me see if I can find the tweet from USL Tactics. Here, let me just go here. So the score in USL alone, and we're not even talking about the Dak McCarthy stomp in MLS last night, which is just, if you haven't seen that, it's just
Did you see that for Nashville? And he tried to argue.
Yeah, just that.
He had the audacity to go, "What are you talking about? I didn't even." Yeah. He backheeled the crap out of a RSL player. I'm sorry, that was. I'll shut up.
He shoved him in the back. He threw him down.
So in USL last night alone, or we'll even go Atlanta United. No, that was Wednesday. So Atlanta United, Red Bulls. So this week alone, Atlanta United, New York Red Bulls each had a red in their game. Red Bulls got another red in the game yesterday. So that's 3. San Antonio and LA Galaxy each had reds. So that's 5. Hartford got a red against Pittsburgh. Indy got a red against Tampa. Monterey got a red against Colorado Springs. Legion got a red against Tulsa. And RGV got a red against Orange County. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 reds this week alone in 1 week of action. And some of them are the 2 cautions and through there. I know USL Tactics, or not USL Tactics, the USL show, pointed out, that reds are just flying at an extremely high rate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there was like 10, or I think there's 14 reds on the week, just 2 weeks in. So But as much as we want to complain about the referees, it's on the players, because some of it, taking away ours, which we don't know if something was said or it was touched, because like Rafa said, I don't think he initially planned on giving him a red for the foul, but it was the player's reaction. And we do know that there is an emphasis this year on player referee interaction, we'll say here, and right or wrong, that's how they're calling it. Robert, any thoughts on the red?
Like you're saying, I mean, it just seemed like a makeup call. It just seemed like the ref was feeling the need to even the score, because they were probably complaining about what happened, being that it was a touch foul but an accumulation deal. So in my mind, I just think he just felt the need, like, let's even the score. And he fell for like the sell job that guy had in the box. I mean, he embellished it. It is what it is. I mean, it's not uncommon for the USL. We're used to the inconsistency on the refereeing, to be fair. So nothing came as a surprise. I mean, it's just, maybe he said something, maybe he didn't. I mean, that's the only thing that kind of made sense, possibly, is that he got a little aggressive in what he was saying to him. Who knows? But like I said, they need to rescind it. They need to look at it, like Royce was saying, because they did it for Tulsa. They rescinded that suspension on for last week.
But that was a bad one, though. The dude didn't even touch it.
This one's barely the same. I mean, he barely. It's a soccer play, though. It's not like malicious. Like, there was no intent.
So then I don't think there was really a whole lot after that here. 1 second here.
Yeah, I think the next highlight's literally the end of the game after this.
It was a good.
It was funny to see Doyle running around.
Our defense basically kept us alive here.
Yeah, so next highlight's there.
Step over there, taking off the ball.
Yeah, Charter obviously just tried to.
And our referee points the mid.
Hold on.
And the video is courtesy of USL Championship off of their YouTube channel, and a little bit off of the ESPN play to kind of go into further details on that here. For that here, so. But San Antonio remains unbeaten, as Royce mentioned, to stay atop the Western Conference standing 2 games in. It is just the second time in club history that the club has won each of its 2 matches, and the only other time was in 2017. And if we remember, that year we went on a run, 11, 12, 13 games, something like that?
That was the Billy Forbes month, where he was the very first USL Player of the Month. That was it. April it was March. March of 2017. It was March, April. It was both months. You're right. He was hot throughout, and then he got hurt and
he slowed down.
What could have been? So
my recollection of the game here, once we got that second, or once we got our red, the second red of the game, San Antonio kind of set back, you could kind of say, because it seemed like LA kind of controlled the action, at least going forward. Now we were up a goal, and for that here, but we'll start with you, Robert. Your thoughts of kind of setting back and how the game finished. I made the comment to Rafa where it seemed like we were down a man, even though it was 10-on-10.
Yeah, it seemed like there's a combination of things. Like I said, you had the lead, and in addition to that, I mean, they were pretty gassed. Running that counter press constantly like that, with all the lower body and upper body injuries. I mean, the depth is going to be crucial. Like, it's just a matter of playing through, getting the victory on the road. Don't do anything crazy, nothing risky. But no, it's a smart play. I mean, like I said, it was a combination of they're up, and then we're gassed, so just ride out the clock.
Your thoughts, Royce, on how the game ended?
Yeah, I think Robert had it right. We're pretty simply, they needed to score. They needed to be the aggressors, and we let them do that, and we kind of let them hang themselves with their own rope, because we countered really well. We had a couple chances where we should have finished. We didn't quite, especially that last one where I think we had 2-on-0 there, or 2 of our players against just the keeper. and Traore just kind of do the sell job. I think he should have gone to the corner, to be honest, but he tried to do the sell job because the center back for Los Dos, when he caught up to him, decided to throw an elbow, and Traore, I don't know if there's contact, but obviously the ref had seen enough after that. But we countered really well against them, but at the same time, they needed to score, so we sat back, and we're comfortable out of possession. We're comfortable just pressing and then countering off that press. And that's kind of what our system is designed for. And like Robert said, we were gassed. Whenever they made those subs not necessarily for a tactical reason. It's because they were tired. Justin Dillon was doing a lot of running, especially after Collier went out with the red. And he put in a heck of a shift. And so he needed to get subbed out. And that was pretty much it. But I think we played it exactly how we needed to play it, and the result speaks for itself.
Is it time to make a call to Toronto, Rafa? Bring back Mr. Caruso?
I don't think that would be a bad call. At the same time, we know that Chris Lima, shout out to Chris, what's up, man? We know that he's still in San Antonio. A little bit of midfield depth. I don't think
that doesn't help the striking position right now.
At least he helps. Yeah, at least he helps with that
PC and Abu. Yeah,
especially PC getting mugged by a Galaxy the whole game. And that's the thing, and that's going to take its toll on PC if they keep on doing that to him. So we do definitely need to get depth there, and especially if one or the other's out, I think Chris Lima would be a great pickup for us, at least to add some. We have an experienced player there. They'll pick up the slack, and he knows the system. So hopefully they do pick him up soon. And then forwards, we're going to have to go shopping around to see what's out there to at least add some depth there, especially with some of the guys out for quite some time. So it's not that they have to put 20 bunch of goals in. It's just to have some consistency up there, and also to create chances. So if hopefully they can find one in MLS, if not, maybe they find someone in South America that's sitting on the bench and waiting for the opportunity, like Nathan.
Oh, bring back Nathan. He doesn't even play over there. I've been trying to watch him. He doesn't even give any appearances at all.
Right.
I'd love to have him back.
That's so
they have 12 forwards on their roster. That's why.
Yeah.
I hope they're on the phone, because that would be an amazing sign.
If that's the case, I think SAFC should just say, "Hey, let's just do this." And there's no point. I think that Brazilian team, if he did well here and you're going to bring him back, you need to go play him. They're just going to have him sit on the bench. If
Spend
not,
some of that Jose money, get him back.
send him back over here. Yeah.
Next week, RGV. Friday, I don't have the exact time yet. I'm going to see about having Edson come on from down in the valley in the Striker, Texas, to kind of preview what's going on down with RGV. They came off of a last-second loss in Orange County. They play Los Dos on Wednesday, and then they'll probably travel back, and it's a Sunday game at 6:30 Central Standard Time here. I'm debating whether I want to go down there or not, because I do have to work the next day. So do I want to push the limits there for that here? But yeah, Jordan Perusa is on the bench, has with Toronto, but has not made an appearance this year. So for a short-term loan, it wouldn't be a bad idea for that here. Thoughts on, since we did bring up the Nashville Dax foul here. Let me see if I can find that here, because it was bad.
Like, he came in hot and just clubbed that guy and then kicked him. Like, he ran him over.
So I don't know if Rafa's seen this yet.
I can see it.
Huh?
I can see it.
Dude, how do you do a heel kick back into the gut? And of course, this is a tweet from Andy Munoz at Andy Munoz Media off of Twitter.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. That's it. That's embarrassing. And he needs to see at least a 5-game suspension, if not 10. It's embarrassing that you can't do that. That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Any final thoughts that we got here? Like I said here, it's LA. It's the game was pretty simple. There was one miss by Dylan in the first half where I thought that we should have went up 2-0 along those lines here, and then when he missed, it seems like that the tide turned right after that. But I thought for San Antonio FC, as far as on against Los Dos, I thought they did what they needed to do. It wasn't a pretty win, but when they needed to step up, they did, and they come home with the 3 points, which is all that you can ask for that here. Robert, your final thoughts on the San Antonio FC and any early thoughts on RGV coming up?
Oh, definitely. Like you said, I mean, they went there. It was a business trip, and they took care of business. I mean, they can say it's Los Dos too, those wooden spoon type teams, but the reality is, like you said, winning on the road in the USL is just it's hard. It's not easy. I mean, a lot of teams faltered. I mean, shoot, you can talk about Phoenix losing to the Lights. I mean, winning on the road in the USL is tough. So, like I said, they took care of business, got the points. And I'm super excited for the first time to be off to a hot start. It's been so long. It always seems like we start out tie, loss, and then all of a sudden pick up steam midway. So it's good to see them start off hot right now and just continue the momentum, heading down to RGV, Death Valley, where like a lot of teams just go to die because,
yes,
I mean, their field is huge. It's usually windy. The wind, like, it's just, I don't know. To me, it just seems like a tough place to play, period. So coming back with points would be absolutely amazing heading into the home with Phoenix. So,
and then
speaking of RGV, did you see their game?
So San Antonio, Detroit City, LA Galaxy. No disrespect to Detroit City because I think you guys will be good, but we got kind of a soft opening. I think facing RGV, coming home to play Phoenix, going back on the road to Orange County, which is not an easy place to play, and then coming home and playing El Paso, which I'd rather play El Paso now because right now they're struggling with the new system here. They got beat by New Mexico United, so if they can go down and get a point or 3 points against RGV, that would be huge coming back and facing Phoenix, which Phoenix, they got off to the hot start against Monterey Bay in that first half, but since then their defense has kind of, gave up a few goals here. And to be honest with you, if you watched the match against the Lights last night, Lights took it to them. To Phoenix, I'm not sure what was going on with the Phoenix lineup, but they're still a talented team. But it'll be something to kind of look out for. 2 weeks from now? Rafa, your thoughts on RGV coming up here?
It's important for us to go down there to get those 3 points. I think this is a must win for us, especially from last year. I think the difference when we went there last year, the first time around, we just didn't have like the defense, and we got shredded by their speed. And this is not going to be the case this time around because we got the speed to counter whatever RGV is going to throw us. Especially, I know Frankie Lopez has had a good start, but I think Tainer and Garcia will be able to shut him, and also Manley will shut him down. Manley's too because he knows the system, so it's a homecoming for him. So I'm sure he's going to be pumped up to try to get 3 points from his old team. So, and then the big issue is who's going to be starting up front. Is Patino going to make his debut? Now that we know Collard's going to probably be out for that game, hopefully Beckford will be ready to go. And like I said, Davids, I think he needs to start. I think he's gonna give RGV problems, with his dribbling, passing to the areas, and his creative shots. So hopefully, like I said, we get some reinforcements back and we can steal 3 points and be ready to kick Phoenix here in San Antonio.
Royce, before you get to Daddy Duty and Mr. Home Improvement, your final thoughts?
Yeah, let's get another happy flight. Let's start that hashtag happy flight for away game wins. Yeah, man, perfect start to the season. Not necessarily perfect off the field with the injuries and whatnot, especially with Mane being out for 3 months. It's going to be rough, but at the same time, team looks good, and this is honestly a huge contributor to the 6 points that we have early in the season is the players that they've brought back that know the system, that are comfortable in the system, and everybody else is kind of just kind of follow their lead on that. I was so pleased when Connor came back, when PC came back. Those are your captains on and off the field. And it shows. In Abu coming back, it's huge signing. I didn't expect that, but that's huge. So it's great. We
and
look
you kind
good.
of teased it earlier, but
and possible reinforcements coming up. Apparently, according to Instagram, well, I feel like a stalker, man. I'm Instagram and stalking, but
me too. I'm with you. I'm like,
Jasser Kamiri is at Frankfurt International Airport. Where's he going? Who knows? But he is definitely on his way somewhere. So
he has
hopefully
teased San Antonio recently.
On his profile, he still has San Antonio, Texas as his location. So, and from what I've heard through certain undisclosed sources, that there's some visa issues, and hopefully those visa issues have been sorted out, and that would be a huge contribution to this team. And not obviously forward group is kind of lacking just because of injuries, but the back line, there's just not a lot of
you need we don't have
there's not a lot of backup there. Exactly.
No offense to Roman Holt, but
your backup is Roman. Roman has looked good, but at the same time he's young and he's unproven. So you can't depend on him for a whole season. You can depend on him for a start or two. We'll see how he does, but at the same time, you need those proven reinforcements, and Jasser Kamiri was probably the best. Well, he was the best center back last season, next to Courtney. And I think that would be huge for us to get that in, and mainly for depth. And Jasser Kamiri is not a depth signing, but it's going to help with depth. So that's exciting.
And my final thought, I'm going to kick it to Rafa to kind of preview Wednesday to get that set up. We are planning on doing our, soccer bracketology, I think is what we've decided, or whatever.
I think Coach Connor coming up with a name. I think he's gonna post it, I guess, on Twitter. So we're trying to come up with some names, but yeah, we're excited for Wednesday's possible 3 hour,
3 to 4 hours, yes,
3 to 4 hour bracketology.
Good Lord.
The only live bracketology that we do in person for Texas high school soccer. We're the only ones that do it live. Nobody else does it. Someone else
intermission.
Do it live, we do it live.
and we are going to have Jacob, who does Down in the Valley, that also covers high school sports down in the RGV area. Nice. Coach Cano coming on. He has El Paso ties, and then he is also bringing on
some from the newspaper, I think, from the El Paso paper.
Yeah, what was his name? From El Paso.
I can say while you're looking that up real quick, Ferrari 1-2 to start the Formula One season. That's big time, son. That's big time. All right.
Felix Chavez, which is the sports director for the El Paso Times. I've reached out to somebody up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area to see if they'd be willing to come on, but so far haven't had any feedback. But last year it was just the three of us. This year we're going to have at least somebody that covers the El Paso side over in West Texas, and also somebody that covers a little bit more in the valley outside of Rafa for that here in Linkset here. So we're still trying to work to see if maybe we can get somebody in Austin and maybe somebody over in Houston to go through there. But at least at that point, we're going to have four Coach Cano, Rafa, Jacob, and Felix, and then I'll be kind of the person clicking the buttons and screwing up teams' names like I always do. But for that year, But I think we're gonna do it at 6:30, 7
Yeah.
somewhere, probably 6:30ish, because it's gonna take a while to go through
Yeah,
4A, 5A, 6A, both boys and girls, and go through and pick it because it's there is a big match. What, Monday?
Tuesday, actually.
Oh, Tuesday.
Yeah, this is like a winner. Not to say winner take all. It's for the number 2 seeding. Lee versus Johnston, round 3. Winner gets the 2 seed, and I think, and normally I know I was reading some comments about the coin. They should just do the coin flag. You don't want to get hurt.
That was me.
But knowing Coach Rogers, he's like, no, I'm gonna if I'm gonna get going this, I'm gonna earn the 2 seed, and I think that 2 seed really kind of plays into as far as maybe trying to go in deep into the playoffs. So it's gonna be a great game. Will I make an appearance? Who knows? Be on the lookout. We could probably live stream that game. It'll be a good classic. But then we also have a couple games on Monday night too. I think the Bernie girls plays Bandera. I think their district finalizes that day. I think they're still in the hunt for the district title. So we won't find out till maybe late Tuesday night as far as the certifications, all the seedings and so forth, especially like down in the valley. So anyone known as in the valleys watching, the 4A seedings for the girls, let us know. We don't know what's going on down there because RGV paper doesn't really so much down there as far as their standings and so forth. But we're looking forward to this. It's gonna be fun, and like I said, I have a couple favorites. I know I have one for 5A girls. I know who's my favorite there. So we'll see what the predictions we have for on Wednesday.
All right. So I said I was going to try to keep this a lot shorter. We've shaved off a half hour from last week, so we're right at an hour and 1 minute. So
goals.
Yes, it was. I was like, just keep it short, Harry. Just keep it short. Move the conversation, and let's go. But thank you, Robert. Hopefully, we'll get to do this again with you. Like I said here, enjoy your knowledge and expertise, and especially where you're always in the bunker or at the watch parties here to kind of bring that perspective, since Royce and Rafa and I tend to sit on the other side.
We're old.
But what's life without goals? We're out of here. Hope everybody has a great week. We'll see hopefully most of you on Wednesday. And like I said here, be on the lookout at some point on Friday where we have Edson come on and talk about RGV and focus on that match. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. What's life without goals?